From an undisclosed locations for reasons of security and insecurity, I present to you tonight MnRTV Live Show, and tonight we're going to be talking about Area 51, or includes Roswell, and also the Men in Black. And tonight's a very sad night because of what happened in the terrorist attacks in France, in Paris, and it's very, very tragic what happened. And it's worldwide news. But before we get to that, let me introduce to you the one and the only, the coffee man, Mario.
Robert, I'm glad to be back in 2015. I'm glad 2014 is gone and 2015 is here. I don't know how long it's going to stay, but it's here and it's here for good, and I like it.
Exactly. Tonight we're going to be talking about Area 51 and Men in Black, but that's like our main topic. But I think we should talk about what's been happening today. It's like I woke up and like hearing terrorist attacks and shootings and everything. I thought it was just another, how can I say it, another false flag attack, you know? And
but
it's something very, it's like news is coming in. Some people are saying ISIS is behind it. Some other people are saying, witnesses are saying Al-Qaeda did it. It's something we'll have to touch upon later in the show. But how has been your last 2 weeks?
It's been good. It went by too fast. I miss doing this show because I like doing this show. This is my life's blood. Everybody knows that. Everybody should know that at this time of their age and time. You should know that this is what I live for.
I remember last Wednesday was New Year's Eve, and I was thinking, remember I was talking to you around 7:50 last week, and I said, we should be doing a show now, So we want to welcome our viewers. Hopefully you guys are gonna have a nice 2015, but it hasn't been getting off to a good start so far with today's news. But anyhow, do what you gotta do, and that's it.
All right. So this is me. In case you don't know me, you get to know me. You'll know me by the next hour and a half. You will know me just like you'll know Robert, and you'll know what we're about. But now I'm gonna do what I normally do, introduce the show. Then after that, we're going to talk about the news, and then we're going to get inside the topic in a little bit, in half an hour. That's when we start the topic. So you people can get caught up and just sit back. It's cold outside. Get yourself a nice warm cup of coffee, popcorn if you want. Pop them a little bit, just pop them.
Right here. Look, do you see my cup?
Yes, Robert. We see your beautiful mug.
My beautiful mug, anti-Illuminati resistance. We have our eye on you. All right, go ahead.
All right. So now I'm going to be flipping over and showing what you're supposed to be seeing, because it's enough of seeing me. You've seen me enough already. You'll see me at the end of the show if you want to see me again. Right, Rob?
That's right.
That's right.
And this show's been brought to you by the Montreal Anti-Illuminati Task Force.
All right. So now here she is. Here's our wonderful blog, and it's MnR Productions, Mariolaur.blogspot.ca. It's all over, everywhere you go, you'll see it. You just type in MnR Productions, you see us. We pop up anytime, all the time. So that's it. So now this is the information, what the show's about. A lot of good information there, right, Rob? You like it?
I like it, yes.
I know you love it. So here, you see that? If you don't see this, you just click refresh, and bang, you hit play, and you see us live. And if
live on a worldwide transmission.
And when the show is fished, you just click play there, and you get to see us again because it gets recorded. And there's Chitango, right? Look at this. Everybody is getting involved. I love it. I love it when everybody gets involved. It makes my day. Thank you, people. Thank you for your support. And now we're going to start about the famous pictures that have taken place for the past, 2 weeks, we can say, because, we were away for the past 2 weeks. So here it is, Bob.
Not sure if it's 2015 or 1984.
It feels like 1984. The only thing is we got short hair. We don't got the long hair that reaches up to past our backs.
Like back then, I was back in 1984. I was 14, yes, 14 years old, and I didn't know anything about this. All I cared about was heavy metal, and more heavy metal, and none of this crap that's going on now. It's all crap that's going on in 2015. It's just getting too much. All right,
And
next picture.
Rob, I still lived the 80s. I'm an 80s boy. Nothing can get me out of the 80s boy. Now this is what happened for the past 2 weeks, and
Yeah,
they
well,
say
with the airplane, yeah, you can find a stolen iPad, but you can't find a plane.
yeah, they say that they found the tail though, but they're not sure, so they still don't know. I mean, it's a ridiculous lie. And what about this?
Another missing plane. I wonder what they are distracting us from this time.
And this is
Exactly.
our chemtrails, because you know chemtrails is very important on MnRTV Live Show.
They are spraying us at night while you sleep. Aluminum oxide, barium, strontium, copper, sulfide, potassium, iodide, sweet dreams. No
Now
wonder we wake up feeling sick sometimes.
this picture has given us quite a bit of likes. I think there's like 20 likes just on this picture. Yeah, so they're spraying us at night, Rob. That's a good point. That's why sometimes we wake up when we're sick, you know?
Exactly.
Now this thing here, Mr. Obama.
Executive Order 13603. At a time of the president's choosing, the federal government may take over. Oh yeah, I've heard about this a long time ago. There's all kinds of executive orders. He could declare martial law any time. But of course he'll do it under false flag pretenses.
He'll do it while we don't know about it. He's gonna like kind of like probably brainwash our minds thinking it's all good what he's doing. Everything's okay. This one, I like this one. This one's my favorite.
Did the bankers destroy Tesla to stop his gift of free energy for all? Of course, there's Morgan, Warburg, and then no good Rockefeller. And you know, there's one picture missing, the Rothschild in there. But we get the picture of all these three criminal banksters who are sons of, I won't say the last word.
No, you know, they let the people fill in the blanks, and better yet, let them Google a little, right?
Yeah. Presidents are selected, not elected. That's for sure. All the presidents are elected. Not elected, they're selected through inbreeding and secret societies like the Skull and Bones, Freemasonry, and it just goes on like that. It's all intertwined.
It's sad that JFK has to be in this picture, but it's, you know.
But because he chose to go against the 13 bloodlines. All right, mystery. Sandy Hook victim dies again in Pakistan. Photo of child killed at Sandy Hook shows up at Pakistan shooting school shooting. Why? Because it's all fake. All of this is fake. It's like all a script.
Rob, it's a script, and you know what comes with script? Actors, and that kid's an actor, and he's an actor for both. It's like they don't have enough. They should have used Justin Bieber in one of these pictures. At least, you know, we would have known it's really acting, you know? Not that I like Justin Bieber, but I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Anyhow, that's good to keep. And this one, there you go, the three on top. You see them?
Yeah. There's a no good Rothschild. All the rich have to do is teach the poor to blame the middle class, tell the middle class to blame the poor, train the enforcers that you are the enemy, and keep you busy fighting amongst yourselves.
That's what's happening in the world today.
That's what's happening in the news today. You know, all this is all a script. You know, people are probably going to say, oh, we've lost our minds. Have you lost your marbles? How could this be all script? But it's strange. The truth is stranger than fiction. And this one, Jim, just hasn't been the same since he discovered we're all collateral in an international currency slaves system run by sociopathic, megalomaniacal bankers, the puppet dictators.
Well, it's not just Jim here. It's you and I, Robert, and all these spectators watching this, and all the people on the conspiracy talk groups and communities.
Exactly.
I like that. And now this one I like too. I have to put this up because it was during Christmas. This got a lot of likes.
You know what Jesus looked like? Cesar Borgia, false image of Jesus. In 1490, Pope Alexander had an artist model a Jesus painting after his son Cesar Borgia Both father and son were extremely wicked. Of course, they
No,
had to be wicked. They couldn't be nice people.
no, of course not. But you know, this is the thing. This is a whole show on its own. This topic right here is a whole show on its own because people don't realize that.
I wonder if we did a show. If we did a show on this, what would happen? If we get banned from Facebook and a lot of hate.
No, you know what's going to happen? It won't go popular. It won't go nowhere because we're bringing Jesus Christ and the world doesn't like Jesus Christ, but yet they love this image. So it go figure. But this is not how he looks like, and Christ did not have long hair, but people beg to differ that Christ did have long hair. But then again, this is not how Christ is supposed to look like. Nobody knows how Christ looks like. And if Christ would want to know how people look, how he would look like, he would definitely show himself, because there were great painters back then and there were great sculptors back then that would have made statues of him, but he didn't want that because you know why? People would worship him like they're doing now with the golden calf. So that's my point with that, but that's a whole different talk. That's a whole show on its own. Well, we just gotta move on.
Did you
Now
know,
this,
Dumb and Dumber? A U.S. court in 2000 declared that police departments can officially refuse to hire applicants with high IQ scores.
now, Rob, I want to know, would you and I qualify for the cops? I guess not, because we
No,
have
because we know too much.
yeah, so they wouldn't like us because we're not easily tameable by who? The Illuminati. There
Yes.
you go. Now this one, finally, last but not least, the last picture. I like this. You love it too, Rob. I know you love it.
Let me go through it. The
And
top 10 Illuminati signs that are used in plain sight: the pyramid, I'll start from number 10, the Belhami salute. Number 9, the devil's horn. Number 8, the eternal flame. Number 7, the owl. Number 6, the obelisk. Number 5, the number 666. Number 4, the inverted cross. Number 3, the pentagram. Number 2, the all-seeing eye. And number 1, the pyramid.
now there you go. That's you have it. That's in a nutshell. But you know what? What would this show be without talking about this stuff, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so now we're just going to move along and talk about our conspiracy talk. We always have to talk about the conspiracy talk, and here it is, and it just keeps getting bigger as we go along.
It gets bigger and bigger. I mean, there's like 22 new members today or yesterday, I don't know. And just like go on, and you can make a show just on this alone, you know?
But the thing is, we also have another one on Google Plus. And we don't like spammers, we don't like trollers, and be nice, polite as usual. And that's it. I mean, feel free to join wherever you are, whoever you are. And that's it for that. So now we're going to commence the news out with the gather.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now all the links that I'm posting up here will be in the description underneath the show.
Right. Okay.
Time, and do leave your comments. Nice comments. Be nice.
Paris, this was one of the first articles I saw upon waking up. Paris attack. Gunmen showed advanced military skills. Trained killers sent by ISIS or a government. The government who stormed the offices of the newspaper Charlie Hebdo in Paris, displaying a degree of skill, calmness that comes only from advanced military. The Paris gunmen used gesture adopted by radical. Apparently, they were giving each other signs in that, you know. So this, of course, is done by pros, you know. It's just too bad that 12 people had to die and there were a few injured. And I just think it's the radicalization of this is just beyond anything that has to be stopped. It has to be put down. It has to be dismantled.
Now the question is there's a false flag behind this. What could it be? Could it be
one question that I've been wondering is, have you seen like all the how do you call it? All the displays that said Je suis Charles.
Yeah, we're already talking about Prince Charles.
No, today the guy that died, Charles Hebdo, that died, Charlie Hebdo.
Yeah.
You saw all those things that they were holding up, right?
Yeah.
Now, why? Haven't you asked yourself, Where did they get all these things from? Je suis. Like, all of a sudden, he dies, bang, they have all these things. I would like someone to answer me that. I mean, but how did they get them? They even have it at the flag in Montreal, like at the City Hall. They have a banner there. Like, how did they have time to print all of this? It happened right away. You know, how did they print all of this? Like, you saw the news today?
No, I know, Robert. It makes sense.
How? But like,
this happened this morning to us.
Yeah, I know.
Paris time. That's like 6 hours ahead. So.
I had time to go print it, let the ink, and then send it out to people. I don't know. That's very odd, I find. Maybe there is a way. Maybe, I don't know. But like, let's say something happens tomorrow in another city. They're gonna have, whatever happens, they're gonna have time to print it. I don't know. It's just maybe there's got to be something to it.
Yeah, we don't know, but I'll for sure this was planned, and there is a false flag behind it. We don't know what it is. You know what I think it is? I think the economy is going down. It's going bad. So they need something like this to build up the economy. Because look, don't go too far. Gas is 99 cents, I think, today. And
I heard something's gonna happen in March again. Someone has told me this.
So
they think it's gonna be in March.
Sweep on
the economy.
Yeah, next.
Exactly. So condolences to the people in Paris from MnR Productions.
Sad that had to happen. These things should not have to happen, you know, for what?
It's barbaric.
It doesn't, it's not right. It's, what can I say? I mean, I hate when this happens. Okay, the next goodie.
Former CIA pilot gives sworn testimony that no planes hit the Twin Towers on 9/11. But we saw planes. I saw it live when it happened.
I don't know, Rob. There's something missing here. There's a missing link. That's why I'm putting it up. Did you see it, or?
I see it. I see it's very small though. The writing.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, yeah, that's perfect for viewers. John Lear's father, Bill Lear, invented the Learjet, is a former CIA pilot who has given sworn testimony that no airplanes hit the Twin Towers on that fateful day on September 11, 2001. He cited several reasons why it would have been absolutely impossible. These reasons include: such crashes did not occur because they are physically impossible, as depicted from the following reason. In the case of UL-175 going into the South Tower, a real Boeing 767 would have begun telescoping when the nose hit the 14-inch steel columns, which are 39 inches on center. Wow. No Boeing 767 could attain a speed of 540 miles per hour at 1,000 feet above sea level. Parasite drag double with velocity, and parasite power comes with velocity. I don't know, but like, I saw it. I was watching CNN and I saw something going, and boom. So
yeah, but was it that, or was it maybe a hologram graphics thing that was connected with a missile or something? You know, could it be blue beam that was connected with a missile? Could it be?
It could be.
Anything's possible, according to this article.
But you know. Exactly, like how can I say this? I tell people since 9/11 has happened, it's as if World War III has started. It has begun. The civil liberties taken away.
Next, speaking of airplanes, and again to chemtrails.
Italian blows chemtrails secret war lid off with film. Watch here, and it's a film from Italy that talks about chemtrails. And for our Italian viewers in Italy and in Montreal, the link will be up, and you folks can go watch it.
It's a very long video, but you know what? There is subtitles for all the British-speaking people out there. It's very, very, very good. You people should watch it. It's like, I'm happy that our neck of the woods in Italy, they're actually watching this and they're waking up, because we need the world waking up. It's not just here. The world has to wake up to this. You know, they're slowly killing us, and they're putting, well, you know what they're putting in
we just said it before. They bring the show barium, fluoride, sodium, fluoride, and there was something else. I can't even pronounce it now. Barium and something, and other stuff, you know. And the thing is, with all of these things, it's like what's happened to our weather. You know, one day it's cold, one day it's hot. It's like a yo-yo. That's how it's going. And right now we're freezing in Montreal. It's like minus 33, I believe.
Yeah, but you know
And
what, Rob? That's normal.
yeah, I know. But like last, then it could go up. Like it was +8 or +9 on Sunday. Then it deep freeze. We had a hell of a weather between Sunday and Monday. Saturday was cold. Then it got hot on Sunday, like a bit hot, and rained, and then rain, sleet, freezing rain, and then snow, and it's like it just goes much.
Now, sticking to chemtrails, again, this is what we were talking about before.
Chemtrail flu. Have you got it yet?
See
No,
what you
man.
were
That's
saying
the hope
about,
we don't.
Rob? Rob, you see what you were saying before about how chemtrails cause flu when you wake up in the morning?
Yeah. You're sick. Your nose is stuffy. Your body aches. You're sweaty, coughing, sneezing, and you don't have enough energy to get out of bed. It's not the flu. It's a conspiracy, according to Dr. Len Horowitz. His opinion is not based on conspiracy theory, but on conspiracy fact. Over the past 10 years, Horowitz has become America's most controversial medical authority. A universally trained medical researcher, Horowitz 48 charges the elements of the United States government are conspiring with major pharmaceutical companies to make large segments of the population sick.
This, of course, I got this during the holidays, so I just said, you know what, let me keep it for the next show, and there is a
And
video.
apparently it's part of the Bible codes, the chemtrails.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there's something in there. I'm not too sure exactly, but yeah, and chemtrails are dangerous. I mean, there's a lot of chemicals that they're doing, and you know, it's like I think we've done a show on chemtrails.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to redo shows again because people have to understand it. People need to know that there's a difference between chemtrails and contrails.
Yeah, and like we've been warned not to do a show on the Men in Black. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember, but I don't know. I didn't know if you want to tell the people that or not.
Of course, yes, because if something ever happens to us, know that Men in Black do exist.
Funny, like we were warned.
Know about Men in Black, and here we are doing it with Area 51.
We're always warned not to do stuff, and we still do it, right?
Yeah, that's how it's always been. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I know.
A new ice age is not upon us.
No. All right, the next thing.
Right here.
Studies confirm that
DNA from GMOs can possibly directly to humans. Genes can pass from food to human blood.
So they're genetically modifying us, what, into robots, into lizards?
Into hybrids, like we said, you know, like half human, the transhumanism. The Bible even speaks about that. That's going to be happening in the end times.
But God doesn't like that, and you know we can't be messing around with human DNA. And you know what happened the last time we messed up with the human DNA?
Yes, giants were created.
Giants and all other stuff was created. Mermaids and what were they called?
The Minotaur, the Greek mythology, Hercules, Medusa. Hey, speaking of mermaids, did you see the posting I put up the other day on the talk? There's a mermaid school.
Yeah, I know. They want to genetically modify them. That's people.
Yeah, exactly. Why is there a mermaid school? And mermaids, like you know, they're not supposed to exist. Do they know something we don't know?
Yeah,
well, they can't fool us. They can't fool us.
No. Rob, do you like this article or what?
Yeah, I do, but it's too much like information to, you know, the GMOs by Monsanto. It's created the companies, and they're just putting more and more fake food chemicals, and they're trying to take out all the nature stuff, nature food. They want it all out and just put chemicals. No, people get more and more sick. I know people younger and younger are getting more and more sick.
The satires, that's it. They want to turn people into satire. That's another one. anyhow, there's a video here. I mean, they're slowly changing us. You know, they're giving us cancer. They're killing some of us. They're killing off others. They're turning us into, I don't know, half human, half animals. I don't know what the hell they're going. Why they're doing this to us?
Exactly.
But if you wanted to see this article, as usual, this news bit, just go on the bottom, and you know.
Exactly. Oh, for sure, for sure. People in the chat room are freaking out that we've gotten threats. We get all kinds of threats all the time, don't we?
Yeah.
On the phone, internet, God knows any other ways, you know. Anyhow,
The
Amazon.
next one, what you love.
Amazon, which I love, used neo-Nazi guards to keep immigrant workforce under control in Germany. Now this is what? This is the Amazon store.
Look at that,
Wow.
Rob. Wouldn't you like to work there?
Yes, because that's where I get most of my books. How to get books and clothes and rock shirts and everything. Amazon is at the center of a deepening scandal in Germany as the online shopping giant claims that it employed security guards with neo-Nazi connections to intimidate its foreign workers. German art television channel made the allegation in a documentary from Amazon's treatment of more than 5,000 temporary staff from across Europe to work at its German packing and distributing centers. The film shows omnipresent guards from a company named Hess Security wearing black uniform boots with military haircuts. They were employed to keep orders at hostels and budget hotels where foreign workers stayed. Many of the workers are afraid, the program makers said. They were frisked to check that they had not walked away with breakfast rolls. Like this is beyond 1984.
Yeah, that's why I posted, just to let you know what goes on to Amazon. You think they got a good job there? No, there is no such thing as a good job. Unless, of course, you're some corporate, but is that worth it?
No, it's not. So yeah, imagine that working, and look what happened.
And I bet you these are Americans that are working there, obviously, right? Homebred Americans that don't deserve to be treated like crap, because they're not crap. They're human beings.
Oh, for sure, I agree. All right, that's it for that article.
Yeah, I like that. I loved it. Hold on, Rob. I know the next one is going to knock you right off your socks, if you have any socks today.
Well, I do. In fact, I should put double. I'm freezing, and I'm not putting no heat on till after the show when I go to bed. All right.
Okay.
Alice Cooper.
Hold on, Rob. Hold on. I hear a voice somewhere. I don't like that.
I hear it too, so I'll be talking. Just shut it off.
Okay, I found it.
Oh, okay.
I hate when they do that. Why did they trick us into that? Okay, the next.
Alice Cooper, be careful. Satan is not a myth. Alice Cooper says he loves God. He does. Never wanted to become a celebrity believer, but that my life is dedicated to follow Christ. This should get mainstream national headlines, right? The guy who sang about chopped up babies, welcome to my nightmare, and all that throughout the 70s and 80s, right? Wrong, but it's true. Alice Cooper comes from a Christian God and is a firm believer in Christ. Although he's thought to have paved the way for acts like Marilyn Manson and other satanic type music, Cooper says his shows has always had a sense of humor. He sees his stage persona not as a prophet of doom, telling people, be careful, Satan is not a myth. Don't sit around pretending like Satan is a joke. I think my job is to warn about Satan. When alcoholism threatened his marriage to his wife Cheryl, attended a church with a hellfire pastor, Cooper said he became a Christian, innocently more out of the fear of God rather than the love of God. I did not want to go to hell, interviewed for HMS March-April issue. Cooper views his faith as an ongoing thing. Being Christian is something you just progress in. You learn. You just go to Bible studies, you pray, he says. Okay, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
And at the end of the article, it says, can Ozzy be far away? Do you see it?
Maybe he isn't. We don't know.
We don't know. Hopefully he isn't far away from all of this. But, you know, That's all, and then we could tie in Satanism, symbolism, Illuminati, music, and all that. But that's like for another show, and we've done shows like that before.
So, Rob, can we say that buying Alice Cooper CDs is actually safe, or what?
Well, from the show, I bought I have some. I have one.
Well, I have a couple of his songs. I like his songs. Okay, next.
Do the bars at the bottom of your toothpaste really tell you what's in them?
These bars, there you go.
No, they don't. They sure don't. You may have seen articles floating around like this that say green all natural, blue natural medicines, red natural chemicals, black all chemicals. Sadly, it isn't that easy. The color squares at the bottom of the toothpaste have nothing to do with the formula inside. They're known as eye marks or color marks and are printed marks that can be read by light beam sensors. They identify where the product's packaging is to be cut or folded, not where the contents are.
So there you go. Now you know, because a lot of people, they always, you know, think, oh, there's a conspiracy behind that, but there isn't. There's nothing there. I just had to put that there, Rob.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Just read in the hangout. I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, so well, yeah, and the show we're talking about tonight. Somebody got the warning too. Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Someone got a warning.
About the MIB.
Oh no. Okay, the next one. Look at what the technology is.
Yeah, 3D printer. Giant Chinese 3D printer builds 10 houses in just one day. What is this 3D printer that can build stuff? Why don't we get one?
I know. I agree.
We could build a house. We could build a house, but something hot for the winter. A private company. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying maybe here they will say what that is.
A private company located in eastern China has printed 10 full houses using a huge 3D printer in the space of a day. The process utilizes quick-drying cement, but the creators are being careful not to reveal the secrets of the technology, which I think is alien technology. China's Winsun company uses a system of 4 10 meters wide by 6 by 6 meter high printers with multi-directional spray to create the houses. Cement and construction waste was used to build the wall layer by layer. State news agency Xina reported. Xua, sorry. Look at these. Let's look at these houses here, folks.
Well, that's the age of the future. You know, there's a video, you can press play.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to see how they build a house with 3D printing.
Well, I guess the same way. Instead of using ink, they're actually, you know, you melt the plastic, I would gather. There's the houses. You see that? Nice little house. But here, I wonder if it would work, this house, because it's so bloody cold. Bloody. Oh,
bloody cold in here.
One more before we call Trish, because Trish is like, you know, she's been annoyed. Like, she's like, what happened with you guys, you know? But we're here. There we go. What would this show be without talking about UFOs, right?
And the main topics about that tonight. Is there a UFO ejecting an escape pod or a meteorite breaking up? Mystery video sparks speculation. Is this the one in Russia?
No, Rob, but it's in California.
Okay.
Too bad I can't play the video, but it's like as if it's like a fallen angel that's falling from the sky. To me, it looks like a fallen angel. Could it be
something streaking? It's not like a meteorite streaking. Shoo! Oh yeah, there it is. A mysterious ball of light streaking across the night sky. California was caught on camera, sparking theories that it could be a UFO. Alien enthusiasts have claimed the video, which has clocked up 500,000 YouTube videos views in 24 hours, shows a crashing ship releasing an escape pod, but many believe it is merely space rubble burning up in Earth's atmosphere. There have been a string of meteor sightings in the U.S. over the past week, with many reports coming out of California. And I just want to say, on CJD, did you hear the show about UFOs and alien abductions that they spoke about yesterday?
Rob, we know more information than what they spoke about. We're the
Yeah, I
expert.
know, but I mean, this is on like mainstream news. Like, since when do they talk about alien abductions on CJAD? You know, they never did before.
Yeah, but don't forget. Look, do you remember seeing Transformers? How the what came down? They looked like stars, but they weren't. They were actually Transformers. Well,
Yeah.
could it be this is something similar to that? Because if you look at it, that's what it looks like. It looks like some being is just falling from the sky. Could it be? Let's just hope it's not the falling. Wait, how did you call? What was the star? Morning star?
The morning star falling. I mean, when Lucifer he fell down from heaven, right?
Yeah, let's just hope that that's not it,
Because
because
if that's it, if Lucifer is fallen from the sky, he's been kicked out of heaven, wouldn't that mean that he's on the earth and he comes with great wrath because he knows his time is short
Robert, anything is possible.
in this crazy matrix world that we live in? All right, so get Trish on, and we'll be back after this little break. We'll be talking about Area 51 and the mysterious men in black. Don't you guys go anywhere.
And here she is. Here is Trish.
Geography Area 51 map showing Area 51, NAFR, and the NTS. The original rectangular base of 6 by 10 miles, 9.7 by 16, 1 kilometer, is now part of the so-called Groom Box, a rectangular area measuring 23 by 25 miles, 37 by 40 kilometers, of restricted airspace. The area is connected to the internal Nevada Test Site, NTS, road network, with paved roads leading south to Mercury and west to Yucca Flat, leading northeast from the lake. The wide and well-maintained Groom Lake Road runs through a pass in the jumbled hills. The road formerly led to mines in the Groom Basin, but has been improved since their closure. Its winding course runs past a security checkpoint, but the restricted area around the base extends further east. After leaving the restricted area, Groom Lake Road descends eastward to the floor of the Taikabu Valley, passing the Deer Road entrances to several small ranches, before converging with State Route 375, the extraterrestrial highway, 12 south of Rachel. Area 51 shares a border with the Yucca Flat region at the Nevada Test Site, the location of 739 of the 928 nuclear tests conducted by the United States Department of Energy at NTS. 131415. The Yucca Mountain Nuclear Waste Repository is 44 miles, 71 kilometers, southwest of Groom Lake. Groom Lake, Nevada Test Range topographic chart centered on Groom Lake. Groom Lake is a salt flat in Nevada used for runways at the Nellis Bombing Range Test Site Airport, KXTA, on the north of the Area 51 USAF military installation. The lake at 4,409 feet, 1,344 m, 16 elevation is approximately 3.7 miles, 60 kilometers, from north to south and 3 miles, 4.8 kilometers, from east to west at its widest point. Located within the namesake Groom Lake Valley portion of the Tonopah Basin. The lake is 25 miles, 40 kilometers, south of Rachel, Nevada.
Thank you very much, Trish. You know, it's always nice hearing a woman's voice on this show.
For once, instead of always hearing our voices, right?
Yeah, some people complain, oh, what is that? Why do you have to have Trish on? Well, don't hurt Trish.
Yeah, they complain. They complain to you all the time, saying we're not serious because we have her. My God, that's terrible that they say that.
People complain that we're posting up our show. They see it everywhere. The conspiracy talk, they're seeing it everywhere.
I know.
They're sick and tired, but us, we still have to do it because we have to get the word out. Whether these people like it or not, we still have to get the word.
And now, just before we get on the show, it's minus 34 right now. Minus 24 feels like minus 34 in Montreal. What kind of weather is this that we have to enjoy this?
It's so cold that don't be surprised if we see a fight outside between a penguin and a polar bear, and they're fighting over a fish that someone dropped outside on the sidewalk or on the street. It's so cold outside, right?
I don't know why God has to make it this cold for. Why? I mean, minus 10 is enough, minus 15 is enough, but minus 34. Oh gosh.
You know what? Just think about it. In 4 months from now,
I know.
months from now, or 6 months, here we go.
We'll be doing a show. We'll be dying of heat.
Yeah, but now at least it's nice and cool. Cold outside, but nice and warm inside, crisp.
Oh no, I haven't put the heat on.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get too hot. When I go to bed, I'll be like too hot. So I'm gonna like when I go to bed, the heat's just starting to go, and then I fall asleep. So right now I'm kind of freezing.
Just turn on the heat. I mean, that's why you get yourself a nice cup of warm coffee.
Yeah, I've already drank the coffee.
Oh.
And it's damn good, but let's get another one. All right.
Are we ready?
Yeah. Why is Area 51 building a mysterious new hangar, and what will it hide? And there it is, the Area 51, the part of the world's most mysterious place on the face of the earth right now.
You think that they're not going to shut down this show or just shut down this episode of the MnRTV Live Show because we're doing something that they don't want us to do as usual? They're saying these guys are tampering with stuff that we're not supposed to.
Well, we've been tampering with it ever since we started doing this, but oh yeah, they're probably going to get the boogeyman after us. In the latest... Eh?
Yeah, they can do whatever they want with us at this point. I know that our names are engraved somewhere in a FEMA camp or something.
I'd rather my name be engraved in the Book of Life.
Yeah, I know, but anyhow, okay.
In the latest satellite imagery released to the public dated June 30th and June 2nd, Area 51 continues to undergo changes, and one of them is significant in nature. This new construction project is of especially high interest, not just because of its physical size, but also because of its peculiar location time. Area 51 and construction go hand in hand. The secretive super base is like the federal government's. Improvements to the base have not stopped since its founding. And look at it. Look from 1968 till 2014.
No, I want to just say, like, don't get mixed up with Roswell, because Roswell's in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And from what I believe, it's near the town of Roswell that it happened, but didn't happen directly. But that's a whole show on its own again, right?
Roswell. Did we ever do one? I don't recall we did one, but over the years, the base has expanded from a dry lake, bed, and apron, a row of slow-slung hangars, and some barracks, and massive complex with a sea of building dozens and dozens of hangars. So that's pretty interesting. Now, if we go down, because we've got a lot, this is a long article, I don't want to bore people over here, but it just talks about like the width, 175-foot doors, a structure.
Isn't this the place where they actually pick you up from an airplane and they drop you here, and then you go inside and they do the same to bring you home, and they don't tell you? It's like they practically cover your eyes. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, the people that work there, yeah, Area 51. Like they cover your eyes so you don't know how to get there, and you don't know how to get there, or when you leave you don't know how to come back, you know.
People say there's no such thing as UFOs and this and that. I mean, the people out there think that we're crazy because we say that there is UFOs, but then again, why are they reverse? There's like reverse technology going on in Area 51, and people, I don't know, man, why people are so asleep.
Oh yeah, well, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on at Area 51, and we're just gonna go down quick, and just so the viewers right here what's going on. Obviously, they could see the diagrams and what's going on. There's all kinds of
stealth. Actually, that's the stealth.
Yeah, the stealth bomber that was probably produced over there. They're working on aviation crafts also.
Next generation bombers. That's what they're working over there. Bombing for what? To bomb us, the people?
Yes, I agree. For false flags and false wars. Look at those planes, you know.
Like a UFO, it looks like.
Like a UFO, almost. Yeah, exactly. So they're working on technologies that we're not supposed to know.
And that technology is going to come against us one day. Keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Right?
2 billion. They're using 2 billion of money. They have 2 billion funding, 2 billion contracts, $2 billion. Sorry. Yes,
Instead of feeding the poor, they're giving the money to these things.
These machines, because they're war pigs to begin with. Look at this. If you saw this in the sky, what would you think if you just saw that flying? You'd say it's a UFO, right?
Well, yeah, but then I know it would be a plane because you see the exhaust coming out of the back, if that's what it's called, the fumes.
But I think that's a cloud, though. And here's the men working right there. Next generation bombers. So they're working on secret planes, as you can tell right there.
And
So who were the? Yeah, and Texas spotted over these secret flying wing aircraft over Texas.
Flying Doritos. That looks tasty. Just dip it in cheese. Right?
Now you're getting me hungry.
Yeah, we don't want to get people hungry. We don't want them running out to order pizza and Doritos chips to their
Maybe
door.
I'll order pizza right now, but I can't. We've got to do the show.
That's
so right there,
a great idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so right there, 2007 hangar, right there. 2014.
Hangar.
Got bigger.
They changed the hangar place.
And look, it's from Google Earth. Google Earth is on it.
I'm actually surprised Google made that leak out. They probably didn't catch it up in time. They probably patched it up now.
No, yeah, for sure. Exactly. Yeah, so I think that's it for this article.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Righty?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the links will be up to all these shows, to all these links, to all these information that we put up. All right. I think this is from January 4th, 2015.
Yeah, you're right.
From the New York Times, conspiratorial stories have a rich tradition in storytelling. Annie Jacobson is the author of Area 51, an uncensored history of America's top secret military base, and most recently operational paperclip, the secret intelligence program that brought Nazi scientists to America. Americans love conspiracies. For centuries, citizens have theorized about plotters among us scheming to connive, oppress, and withhold 19th century conspiracies involved American Indians and New England Illuminati. 21st century conspiracies involve aliens and mind control.
No, wait, before we go on, I just want to bring something up here. Nazi. Why? Why Nazi scientists to the people that are sleeping out there? Google it. Nazi scientists in America. They're part of NASA. And just Google it. Don't be stubborn. Okay.
And the conspirational thread. In conspiracies about aliens, mind control, New World Order, and the Illuminati, I see the work of H.G. Wells. That's Yevgeny Jamskin and George Orwell. 36% of Americans believe that it is somewhat or very likely that U.S. officials either participated in 9/11 or took no action to stop it. Last year, public polling found 51% said the JFK assassination was part of a larger conspiracy. Oh, that's for sure. A 2012 National Geographic survey found that 79% of Americans believe the government is keeping secret information about UFOs. That's definitely without a doubt. I like talking to conspiracy theorists. As a journalist who writes about war weapons and U.S. national security programs, the conspiracy theorists and our common ground on certain ideas, most notably that the government is very good at keeping secrets. In my research and reporting, I found that the most technological advanced weapon programs are often the most jealously guarded, that is until they're declassified. Take the Manhattan Project. It's true, the Manhattan Project. What?
Wait, Rob, before we go on here, okay, it says here, I like talking to conspiracy theorists. All he has to do is just watch the MnRTV Live Show and he sees all what we're...
It's a woman.
Okay, the person. I said the guy. I said I meant the person. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Manhattan Project. What was that again? That sounds familiar. Wasn't
That's
that?
when they did the bomb. They were working on the nuclear bomb.
See, there's just too many conspiracy theories.
Like the Manhattan Project, it employed around 200,000 people, had 80 offices and dozens of secret production plants, including a 60,000-acre facility in rural Tennessee that pulled more electrical power off the grid than New York City did on any night. And yet no one knew it existed until the end of the war. Even Vice President Harry Truman was kept in the dark.
You see, I asked a question and I got the answer right there. That's how we work here. I like that.
Exactly. So they didn't know that what the money was. What they were working on.
No, they don't know. Nobody knows.
They didn't even know what they were working on back then when they were building the nuclear bomb, the Manhattan Project. Perhaps the real point is that it would be foolhardy not to assume that the government is up to secret things. And when you add the mix, the recent revelations about NSA spying and CIA torturing, it becomes clear that nefarious black programs are on the rise, while truthfulness and transparency by government officials wane. It certainly does. Because the government is very powerful, secretive, and it's willing to just do about anything to keep its secrets.
I don't know if Obama knows what he's doing, though. That's for our American buddies to discuss that, right? But I know that a lot of our American buddies don't like Obama.
I know a lot of people don't like him anymore now, or if they ever did.
He's becoming less and less famous. You know, but it's okay. And here's Robert's favorite words coming up, with my words too. You see that?
Yeah, in conspiracies about aliens, mind controls, the New World Order, and the Illuminati. I said that before. I see the works of H.G. Wells, Yevgeny Zamyatin, George Orwell, and Aldous Huxley. Storytellers with powerful narratives are still in print even some 100 years. These are the stories we tell ourselves, make sense of how we live.
Good article from the New York Times. I know that's mainstream, but you know what? If they make sense, we talk about it on this show, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, next article.
We have to talk about, you know, we have to take it out and, you know, pull it out, right? Pull the rabbit out of the hat. Hold on, it doesn't want to go. Okay, I guess this will do. Now this, I remember posting it somewhere, sometime, Rob.
With this article here?
Yeah, in October actually, but it's okay. We have
Former Area 51 scientist claims aliens, UFO exist, pictures shown as proof video. What's a dying man to gain from telling the truth? Nothing. This adds credibility to the words of Boyd Bushman, former Area 51 scientist who spilled the beans on aliens and UFOs in his last days. Bushman died on August 7, but not before speaking with Mark Q. Patterson, an aerospace engineer, about the work. And look at the picture.
Yeah, he sees it, he witnessed it, the poor dude. Look at that. So sad. He knew the truth, and
more than just talk about his days in the U.S. Air Force, been situated some 85 miles north of Las Vegas. He shared pictures of aliens with Patterson, claiming that there are those working in the government who are actually aliens. You hear that, folks? People in the government who are actual aliens.
now if you tell this to the people in the street, they're going to think we're crazy, and they're going to go and they're going to be waiting for Black Friday to show up again. That's how crazy they are.
But they'll be the first ones to go see a movie, an alien movie.
Yeah.
They'll be, yeah, let's go see some alien movie. It's not true. Yeah. That's
Only Hollywood. They're going to say, exactly, Rob. They're going to say, you know what, you guys, all you do is you live in a Hollywood bubble.
Yeah, exactly. You know, wake up, people. Wake up to the reality and smell the coffee. If not, we will provide the coffee for all of you.
Yeah, because you know how much we love coffee.
Exactly. I drank like too many, like 3, 4 cups today.
Yeah, me too.
In the video, reporter Patterson Bushman opened up about what he did in Area 51, reverse engineering about UFO technology but for the military. He added that aliens themselves have worked in the military bases, sometime dying inside Area 51. The notion of aliens in Area 51 is not a new topic, but Bushman has a few additions, one of which is that aliens in the base are, are from Quintumania, a planet located 45 years away from Earth. They use saucer-shaped aircraft measuring 38 feet in diameter. Most of the aliens that Bushman encountered, he said, were quite friendly. But there were those that weren't. In fact, 19 people died in defending themselves from aliens, according to the former research engineer. He called the good guys wranglers and the bad guys rustlers. Bushman described the aliens to be no more than 5 feet in height, humanoid in shape and sizes, but with different eyes and noses. They also had 5 toes and 5 fingers, but don't require talking to communicate, relying on telepathy to convey what they needed. If they started floating while working, they were easily to grab because they were dressed in dungarees. Given the secrecy surrounding Area 51, it's easy to understand why it's a target of conspiracy theories even before Bushman's revelations. The base was founded as a testing site in 1955, while the U.S. was still developing the U-2 spy plane. Today, Area 51 is no more, at least in the name officially. Officially, the base is now referred to as the National Classified Test Facility.
But you know what? This article, there's something about it, okay? I mean, I realize that, but he's trying to say that there were some good grays. I don't believe in any of these grays ever being good, and these are the same grays that are going to try and deceive people when they come back and say that they're our gods, right? But that's a whole different show on its own too, you know?
Well, what I'm thinking is that some of the aliens had to act like they were good. Doesn't mean they are good because they're acting that they're good. Doesn't mean that they are good, and I don't think they're good at all. But they were just acting.
And people fall for it, but only time will tell. Just
because, folks, you gotta understand, guys, that if these aliens were so highly technologically advanced, why don't they come here and help us with world peace, with sicknesses, with cancer, with AIDS, with Ebola, with just about everything? If they wanted the good of mankind, they don't do any of that. Perhaps they create it.
well, who knows what their agendas will be about. That's only time that will tell, but I'm curious to know what they're up to.
And right here, aliens.
I don't know, Rob, if what you sent me. This just has a title.
Aliens are real, reveal former Area 51 scientists who insist they're friendly and helping us. Well, you were supposed to click. I think you're supposed to click somewhere else. Answer it quick. I think it's. Oh boy. You can skip. Yeah, I had to do something. Anyhow, that article just talks about the same basic thing about the scientists we have now. I don't want you to click on those things because I clicked on it and then I forgot to tell you about it. It just talks about the same usual thing that we just spoke about before. Are aliens real? It's the same scientist who says some more information. It's just to cross-reference what we did, a different article.
Oh well, that's a short article. That's a short thing.
Yeah, this just goes to show that aliens are real. So it's the same Dr. Boyd Bushman that talks about it. So it's a different, the same information, different place.
Well, the thing that's good, it's the title. I always say that the title means a lot about what we pull up.
Exactly. This is it's from 2014 October, so the 28th of 2014, not that long ago.
No, it's not that. It's like around the corner, no?
It was, no, 2014. It was around the corner.
I'm sorry, Rob. I thought it feels like time is just flying by so fast,
Exactly.
It doesn't feel like it's 2015. It still feels like 20. Actually,
Well,
still feels like 1984. But anyhow, we'll get back to the article. All
now
right.
to aliens, everything you want to know. Aliens and Area 51. And it's right there. There's a map. This is a good article for folks that want to know about Area 51. I mean, look all these articles right there. Secret files, where it's located. It's a secret military base about 90 miles north of Las Vegas, Nevada. Contained somewhere on the ground is a large the U.S. government will not discuss. It is considered so sensitive that only those who take an oath of secrecy for life are allowed. Civilian contractors and others who work at the base are flowing in every morning of broad, unmarked planes with blackout windows. It is said that the structure are built deep into the desert floor, with buildings going down 30 to 40 stories deep below the surface. Exactly. And look at the picture there. That's the main picture. What?
This is exactly what I was saying before, right? That they fly them in.
Yeah, exactly. And like people were saying in the Chitango, that there's like many layers of deep floors inside, and this is beyond top secret, above top secret, beyond. This is above top secret, and it's beyond beyond the president. Area 51 warning signs. Use of deadly force. The perimeter of the base is covered with ground sensors and listening devices to detect even the smallest intrusions. It is also heavily patrolled by armed guards from the Waikin Hut Corporation, a very serious private security firm. These guys aren't your normal rent-a-cops that local concert promoters use. In short, they will kill you. End of story. Yeah, they'll kill you to protect the aliens that's going on. The demonic aliens, that's what they're doing. That's what Area 51 is all about.
And you know what kills me in all of this? They're trying to tell us here that aliens and covering the aliens, what they're doing, is way more important than us humans. That's not normal. There's something that doesn't add up here.
Well, they're all fooled. They're all fooled. Unless they're scared, because don't forget there are aliens working among them, but they're probably all deceived. And here's all the people that are behind it: the former directors of CIA, DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency director, former FBI directors, right there, Secret Service director, and of course William Casey, remember him, CIA director. So it's the big deal. Area 51 was developed in 1955 as a testing facility for the U.S. spy plane being developed by Lockheed Aircraft. Area 51 has since become a popular symbol of the U.S. government alien UFO cover-up. Area 51 is supposedly where recovered alien spacecraft are being tested and reverse engineered to learn how they work. S4 is a parcel of land that is a part of Area 51. The most secret research actually takes place there, or so we've been told. Secret. Hardly. The military base is so well known that every school kid in America recognizes its name. It has been part of the most UFO research vocabulary for decades. So how come if it's so secret, everybody knows about it, no one can go in there?
That's the question. If only if we knew why.
Exactly. But as you know, the deeper the floors, I mean, there's like I think 12, 13 layers at the bottom. There's like human beings and vats of acids in their hybrids. That's what they're hiding down there.
And what are they doing? What are these beings going to do? They're going to come out one day.
Perhaps they're testing. They're doing transhumanism in there. And look, Popular Mechanics talks about UFOs.
I used to get that magazine at one point.
Oh, you used to order it?
Yeah, they used to send it to me.
Free?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's try and get it free now, eh?
Hey, but what for, man? I used to have a tower of them full of those magazines. I used to get like 10 different magazines at one point.
They talk about UFOs.
I registered them under MnRTV Live Show and I got them all.
Okay.
No, I never. They didn't talk about UFOs.
Back
There,
then.
just look at that. There we go.
Bill
Look at
Clinton
that.
has signed an executive order, well, former president, now he's not anymore, exempting Area 51 from releasing its environmental reports to the public. See the full text of Clinton's executive orders in the documents section. And physicist Bob Lazar has claimed he has worked on alien spacecraft at Area 51. Lazar says that 9 alien saucers are housed there to learn how they work. That's reverse engineering for all you techno geeks. Lazar's saga is long and controversial. After coming forward and making his statements, Lazar's records of employment and evidence of his attending school all disappear. Do you hear feedback?
No.
I hear feedback.
What do you mean you hear feedback?
I hear myself talking.
No, not me. That's weird.
I think there's a communication breakdown.
Yeah, I think they want you to stop the show, but we can't stop the show.
Extraterrestrial highway sign near Area 51 in Nevada. Another Area 51 worker goes by the name of Jared, who confirms Lazar's story. Supposedly Jared was the name given an alien who was housed at the base. The alias Jared 2 is a reference to the alien being. Jared 2 is a 70-year-old retired engineer. He says he worked for 35 design reproductions of alien flying saucers. He also says he has seen great alien beings during his work on the project. Jared 2 says his former employers have given him permission to speak semi-publicly about his experience in order to help prepare the American public about the truth of alien existence. Information.
That's interesting.
Very.
Now, before I do that, I want to, like, you're saying that there's stuff, before we go on to the next one, you're saying that people are writing stuff on Chitango. Is there anything I should share?
I got up to Richard Dean Anderson.
I mean, why not show what
Richard
people...
Dean Anderson.
Pardon?
Yeah, Richard Dean Anderson apparently said that there are aliens there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, one of our viewers met him, and if he thinks UFOs are real, to summarize, he said, I know, it is real.
Now, this is what's going on Chitango. There's a lot of goodies. They just show people, like I say, everybody wants to be part of this. But anyhow, the next one I'm going to be going to. Hold on, Rob.
Okay, I'm holding.
I know you're dying to go to the next one, which is there. It's there. It's coming. It's on its way. And let me just make sure the writing is big, because I think so. Yeah, this one. Whenever it's from this site, I've noticed that the writing is always huger. There we go. Here we go. And it's open minds.
Look, are you able to focus on me now? Can you put the camera on me?
Yes.
Look, do you see my magazine?
Yes, I see it.
And look in the back. Open minds. Open minds. Crop circles and crop circle season. And in the back, there's an international conference 2015 from Open Minds. I have a magazine. Did you know I had a magazine from Open Minds?
No, is it a yearly subscription?
Yeah, I never read it all because there's so much information. I should be reading these magazines, but yeah, 2015 there's the largest UFO conference in the world. I wish we could go to it.
Yeah, that would be cool. But if they invite us, and also me, I would like looking at the pictures. So here we go. Open Minds.
Okay, Area 51 whistleblower. Bob Lazar,
there he is.
2015 International UFO Congress. I'd love to go there.
Yeah, half of us would love to go there with our viewers.
Yeah,
Maybe we could
exactly.
do a live show there, you know, a live hangout.
Like a streaming show. That would be great. That would be wonderful. That'd be good.
Okay, so here's the title, I guess, or
Yeah, Area 51 whistleblower Bob Lazar appearing at the 2015 International UFO Congress. And I believe it's in February 2015.
and look who's there, George Knapp.
Yeah, George Knapp from Coast to Coast. In 1989, Bob Lazar came forward to assert that he had worked on reverse engineering at a secret facility in Nevada called S4 that was built into a mountainside just south of Area 51's main site. The world was introduced to Area 51 and to Bob Lazar by KLAS investigative reporter George Knapp, who interviewed Lazar about his claims. Is he still on Coast to Coast?
Yeah, I hear him.
Okay, I haven't listened to Coast in a while now.
Yeah, I know.
Now,
I think
25
he's there on the weekends, I think,
Yeah.
anyways.
Now, 25 years later, both Knapp and Lazar will be reuniting for a special appearance at the world's largest annual UFO conference, the International UFO Congress. The assertions made by Lazar are well known staples in UFO lore, and they served as a catalyst for Area 51's rise to popular culture prominence. He alleges that he was expelled from working at Area 51, and it was discovered that he told friends when they could watch test flights of the advanced extraterrestrial technology on which he was working. I'm surprised it hasn't been taken out, eh, Mario?
Who?
Lazar.
Lazar.
Yeah.
Well, could it be that he's lying?
Well, how come they haven't like silenced him? Not that I want that to happen.
That's the thing, you know.
I mean, he worked and he's just going to conferences, like just going to conferences. Like it makes me wonder, like what in the world?
Meanwhile, we're threatened to shut up about Men in Black, that we never even met Men in Black, and this guy, you know, there's something not adding up here.
Exactly. We were threatened on the internet with Men in Black, and there's something that's not adding up to this. I mean, what the heck? I mean, we never worked Area 51. We haven't even seen it. We haven't been near it.
I don't know, man. Is that it for this?
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's more.
There's more, but then, yeah, well.
I don't know if this is...
United in 2014 on the 25th anniversary of their first show. Lazar's story remains the same now as it was when he told 25 years ago. Although he asked his critics, Lazar recently told Knapp that he really doesn't care if anyone believes him or not. He's not trying to convince anyone, and he has tried to leave UFOs in his past. Bob Lazar,
I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't know why. How come he's allowed to be speaking about this?
There's a video.
Exactly, right there, and it just talks. You know, I'd love to interview him.
Yeah, me too. Never know. Maybe one day he'll say, "Ah, yeah, I want to appear on the MnRTV Live Show right away. Where is it? How do I join, and how do I get into the act?"
Exactly.
Okay, the next one, right? Sweep on next. Right here. Here she is. Here's the baby.
The secret's out. Obama acknowledges existence of Area 51.
Yeah, because you know why? Because he's trying to tell people, I know, so everybody will say, then it doesn't exist, because nobody believes politicians.
Extraterrestrial highway.
That makes sense. No, nobody believes the...
As we're driving on it, we want to go see if we're on that highway. The extraterrestrial highway is so named because of reports of UFO activity along the roads, runs along the eastern board.
But you know what, Rob? You know what? Hold your horses. Knowing with my luck and your luck, if we would be going on that road, they'd come and arrest us, because with our luck.
Or the car would break down mysteriously, and we have a brand new car.
Yeah, or we get a flat.
At one time, Area 51 was one of the world's most famous military installations in the world, a place widely talked about, yet so secret that the U.S. government failed to confirm its existence. That's why President Obama's reference to the Southern Nevada base Sunday raised eyebrows. It marked the first time a U.S. commander-in-chief has publicly acknowledged the facility that fueled countless conspiracy theories. Obama used the annual Kennedy Center Honors Ceremony to crack a joke at the expense of actors Shirley MacLaine, one of the 5 award recipients who has claimed to have seen UFOs on several occasions. Now, when you first become president, one of the questions that people ask you is, what's really going on at Area 51? Obama said. When I wanted to know, I'd call Shirley MacLaine. I think I just became the first president to ever publicly mention Area 51. How's that, Shirley? So he just cracks jokes over it. The 1996 blockbuster movie Independence Day, which we loved, cemented...
Yeah, I have the comic books, eh?
You still have the comic books?
Yeah, I have the 4 comic books.
Yeah, I don't have the... I used to have the VHS. I don't have the DVD or Blu-ray of it. Cemented the notion in popular culture by depicting as a highly secure repository for extraterrestrial beings and alien spacecraft. A year earlier, President Bill Clinton has added the mystery surrounding the facility by issuing a presidential determination declaring the site exempt from environmental disclosure laws from filing a lawsuit. No mentions of aliens or flying saucers, though. Now they're saying that, yeah, there's testings and all of that, but they don't mention aliens or flying saucers. You see, there has to be something going on. They're just going to say it's this crash and high-tech weaponry that's going on.
No, right. Maybe that was the first phase.
But it's gone beyond that now.
Yeah, maybe now they're at the point where Area 51 is just testing. So like that, people, they're just testing. It's good. It's good. They're protecting us. They're going to be protecting us. But we'll see about that, whatever's coming. So we've all next.
This is a place, Area 51, that not on the map. There's a place that does not exist on paper. Public access to this zone is forbidden. Founded at a secret base, Area 51 is a home store of the U.S. most technological advanced projects amongst them that include the Stealth Bomber. It's a very secretive place. Only recently has the U.S. Air Force admitted its existence, and that was only because of military technology it represents. According to controversial evidence, the technology is not American, but neither are the technicians. Both are from outer space. Even the admittance to existence to Area 51, people have reported seeing objects in the sky in the area. And there goes to talk about Lazar again, who was at the site, at the S4 site where where alien spaceships were stored. And he goes on to talk about an area complex not in appearance to be man-made, but of wax. Lazar reads some briefing papers during the time he worked at the base, which seems to confirm his suspicions, yet he had included lots of UFO information, pictures of autopsies of beings of a gray color, and they also came up with the polis that was a place called the Zeta Reticuli star system.
Isn't that Mr. Crawler? Alistair Crawler? I shouldn't say Mr., but I'll say Crawler. He
found Lamb when he opened up the portal, and there was a being called Lamb who says came from the Zeta Reticuli star system, but I don't believe he comes from there. I firmly believe that he comes from interdimension, and they're just saying that they're aliens.
Yeah, for sure. He's coming. They come from Portal.
Exactly. And now we get to the mysterious Men in Black. The Men in Black wear black suits, obviously, and usually wear sunglasses to hide their glowing eyes, which they are supposedly to have. Some of them are reported to be short, have olive complexion, and have dark, straight hair. They are said to be in groups of 3 and travel in shiny new black Cadillacs. Mainly black cars, mainly Cadillacs. When confronting anyone, they pose as investigators for the CIA or another government agency. They also may flash official documents, but when checked up, there is nothing on them. These people come to those who have reported seeing a UFO and persuade them to stop talking about it by being able to confuse or frighten them, the witnesses. In the next passage, you will read about a man who came out with a story about the Men in Black. The Men in Black goes back in 1953. A man called Albert K. Bender wrote a magazine called Space Review, also ran an organization called the International Flying Saucer Bureau. In October of 1953, the last edition of the publication, the magazine, the organization were to cease with two announcements. The first went on to say that the IFBS had a source which they say was very reliable and had gone to say to them to say that the mystery of the flying saucer was at its final stages. Yeah, so right there it goes on to talk about, I'm not going to go through all of it, to talk about Men in Black. He wrote a book called Flying Saucers and the Three Men in Black. It seems to be strange, confused, and virtually unreadable book that reveals very little in the way of hard facts, but it did enhance the reputation about the Men in Black being extraterrestrial. Right, and yeah, and that's it, and just goes on to talk about alien contacts right there. And
could these Men in Black be actual hybrids?
Well, I definitely think so. They're interstellar beings who are they're dispatched to scare people.
So we've all next.
Exactly.
I mean, it's interesting, these Men in Black, right?
Right
Why
there.
are they black? That's the question. Will we get the answer? I don't know, because they dress black, I guess. Okay. Could you see it, Rob? Or?
Yeah. 10 creepy stories of encounters with Men in Black. Men in Black have been popping up for a while, usually whenever someone claims to have recently sighted a UFO. Shortly after each sighting, the person in question is visited by strange men who usually wear black suits, black ties, and white shirts. The details and motives sometimes vary, but even stranger are the variations in the descriptions of the men in question. While some tales simply describe them as cold, aloof gentlemen wearing black suits, others say that they get an uncanny vibe from those who visit them. The stories tell of men who are usually unnaturally bald men who talk in an almost robotic voice and wear lipstick over lipless mouths. Some suggest that they are from another world, disguising themselves as humans to learn our ways. And the truth behind the Men in Black is still shrouded in mystery, and we may never know the identity of these strange stalkers. 10. The telepathic encounter, which means that they talk through the mind.
Yeah, like you and I would not be able to do an MnRTV Live Show if it wouldn't be for us talking, right? If it would just be telepathically.
Exactly. And he just talks about right there that they were talking telepathically, these men to him, and he had no way of contacting them because it was just through the mind. And how these men exited the van and they did not appear to be entirely human in shape. Number 9, the teleporting MIBs. Right there, I guess they're teleport. Look at it. Look at that hand.
Yeah, that's cool though, Rob. Imagine, that's cool though. Imagine we'd all be teleporting. We wouldn't need gas. There goes the economy.
Exactly, but that looks almost like a shadow creature.
The petrodollar. I know. Maybe it is. Looks like someone's in the back of a shower curtain or something.
Exactly, and after that, the guy said he had dizzy spells after seeing these dark shapes slowly materialize in black suits and black hats.
Yeah, I just seen a flash.
Of what?
Yeah, just above me. I just seen a flash. That's like weird. I don't know, man. Maybe this Men in Black thing is getting to me.
I know. Alleged men in black caught on video. I saw that video. Have you seen it before?
Yeah, it's pretty creepy, pretty nasty.
Yeah, a video was captured. Yeah, a video was captured of 2 men in black who allegedly entered a hotel in Canada and started asking questions about one of the hotel employees. The story says that the employee in question had recently seen a UFO and had told them about his experience. Not long after these 2 men showed up at his place of employment, luckily for him, he was not working during the visit. According to witnesses' accounts, the men were asking people not only about the employee in question, but also about conspiracies in general. They had no eyebrows or eyelashes. strange hypnotic eyes, balding heads, possibly disguised by wigs, and clothing that seemed to be meant for fitting, but somehow were just enough out of place to raise alarm bells. These two men were definitely caught on camera. The question is whether they were clandestine government agents, beings from another world in disguise, or simply the product of a clever hoax. I don't think it was a hoax.
No. They wanted to think it's a hoax, but it's not a hoax.
Oh, for sure. And right here. Number 7, a postal worker's terrifying experience.
Now there goes your mail, Rob. Ordering all those books from Amazon.
Why, you think they'll be intercepted?
Yeah, the men in black will take the books away from the postman.
That's very possible. An anonymous postal worker from Washington, D.C. was out delivering mail one day when he decided to stop and eat an apple. When he finished, he looked around for a trash can and finding none, decided to just toss it on the ground. Before he could leave the area, a security guard approached and lectured him for his negligence, explaining that the entire building and surrounding grounds were under constant surveillance. The postal worker thought about this along the fact that he already had to be buzzed up in to deliver the mail, and began to think that there was more to this place than met the eye. Although a while later he was out on his usual delivery run, when he came by the foreboding building again, then he saw 3 men walking towards the building, except they didn't appear to be like men. They waddled, and when they walked, instead of putting one foot in front of the other, they were anomalously thin. It was the thinness more than anything that frightened them. Though shaken, he decided to be a soldier on and march his way up to the door to deliver the mail. When he entered, he found a group of men who began questioning him about what he had seen moments earlier. He was flabbergasted, and unable to respond until one of the stranger beings who he had seen earlier sighted up near him, at which point he felt more terrified. After more grilling by the men in the room, and after repeating that he had seen nothing at all, he was allowed to leave. His mail route was changed shortly afterward. Number 6, the men in black who like to hang out.
Now, Rob, I honestly don't think we want to hang out with these guys, even though they like to hang out, unless they want to come on a hangout show with us and talk about what they know. There you go.
But the thing is, there's major movies. There's like 3 major movies with Will Smith, Men in Black.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the Illuminati trying to cover it up by saying, yeah, it's just fake. In most stories, the men in black are malevolent, intimidating entities who appear briefly after someone sees something they're not supposed to see. But that's not always the case. In one account, a woman claims that she was a child, that when she was a child, and her engineer father was regularly visited by men in black who was simply by the name of Lev. This man was completely bald, which she noted was very odd during her time. When she went to shake his hand, the skin was impossibly smooth, as if he had no hair whatsoever on his body. The woman who tells the story says that she is sure that her father knew that Lev was an alien, although she never figured it out what they talk about during their meeting. Men in Black. And I think a lot of people get scared when they hear that name.
Yeah, because it's out of this world.
A visit to State Department. Number 5, right there. An anonymous man related a tale of strange experience he had while sightseeing in Washington, D.C. Without realizing this, there really wasn't anything of interest for the civilian. He wanted the State Department building. He meandered through the lobby for a while until security became suspicious of him and headed him to usher him out of the building. The elevator opened and 5 men got out. 2 of them were businesslike and wore gray suits, and they were formal and highly remarkable beyond. What drew his attention on the other 3 men in their escort, these men wore black hats pulled low over their eyes and long black trench coats, even though it was in the middle of the summer. Their appearance seemed so strange that their observers could only see it as cartoonists. Can you imagine just that in the summer? Now that sticks out.
Yeah.
All right, next one. The men in gray. Right there, we can see the men in gray.
But does this mean that men in gray are actually lower than the men in black, like kind of military stripes.
It could very well be. But here it just talks about that someone has seen them and they just vanished. They made clear that they want to talk about UFOs and once again asked permission to enter. When Shear turned them down again, the men vanished and never returned, although Shear believes that since then his phone has been tapped. Heck, maybe our phones are being tapped.
Or maybe the show's being tapped.
Oh, for sure. You never know.
They're after us.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You never know, folks. The mystery of the lock.
God, this is ridiculous. Come on, mysteries of the lock. I heard a Loch Ness monster, but never the lock.
I know. Loch Ness has always been a place of mystery and intrigue. Many people believe that the depths of the Loch Ness contains a primordial creature from early days of the earth, that some have dedicated their lives proving its existence. One man, Frederick Holliday, was well known for being passionate about the study of cryptology and has spent years looking for evidence of creatures in the lake. Perhaps paranormal phenomena are more connected than we might experience. Before he could do anything, there was a bizarre noise, and the man was gone. So he's seen something, like he saw a strange man dressed in black suit. So there was something there. Doesn't mean it was a man in black, but it's just something strange.
Or maybe they ran out of black suits, so they're using gray suits.
The gray suit. Remember the gray suit?
Yeah, I do. Angry. Oh, now they're even angry.
Yeah, yeah, the angry MIB. Right there. A professor of folklore named Peter Rotswich told an experience which occurred one night in the college library, which he was reading a book on UFOs that had been recommended by him by a colleague. He was just relaxing in the chair and reading his book when he noticed what appeared to be a leg and a shoe come out of the corner of his eye. Before he knew it, there was a man sitting in the chair in front of him. The man immediately asked Rotswich about the book he was reading and questioned him on what he had seen UFOs or was an interest in the phenomenon. When the professor stated he wasn't really that interested in the subject to begin with and was only reading the book to satisfy the suggestion of a colleague, the man became enraged and angrily asked him how he could not be interested in the most important facts of the century. Seemingly satisfied that the professor was not going to dig up into the world of UFOs, the man left, but not before telling the professor to go well on his purpose. However, it seems like this would not be the end of it. It's here. The story takes on for extra creepy. At the encounter, Rotswich got up to walk around the library. However, none of the librarians were anywhere to be seen. The same went for the guards and all the patrons. In fact, as far as he could tell, the library was completely deserted except for him. The professor returned to his chair and attempted to gather his wits. In about an hour, according to the professor, he decided to get up and look around again, and this time he found everything as it should be. It's as if the men in black froze everybody. Sort of like Professor Xavier does in the X-Men.
Yeah. Anyhow, this is the next one. Drum roll, number one, right? Number one, drum roll. I had a real drum.
Yeah, the standard photographer. Oh boy, look where he is. He's right there on the highway. Back in the 60s, Jim Templeton took a photo of his daughter, Berg Marsh, and before long, it made big news. You might have heard the photo of the Solar first spaceman who captures what looks like an unexplained figure in an astronaut outfit in the background. Stranger than the photos is the experience that the Templeton had shortly after taking it. He was at work when a car arrived with two men who claimed to be working for the government. When asked, they refused to identify themselves beyond the code number 9 and 10. Even though their badges pointed to no specific government agencies, Templeton agreed to get in with the car with them and drive back to the Mars to answer the questions. The questions were pretty strange, apart from the expected ones, like where it happened and whether there were other witnesses. They also wanted to know about the weather conditions and the behavior of the animals in the area. Templeton told the men that domestic animals in the area seemed scared on that day in question and huddled together for protection. It was after stating that the men became more hostile towards Templeton and questioned the veracity of his stories. Of course, Templeton would not go all this trouble simply to admit defeat. even if his story wasn't entirely honest, and claimed that he was indeed telling the truth as far as he knew. The men seemed to be unconvinced and headed back to the car. They drove off simply, the baffled photographer in the dust, finding his own way home.
Now that's pretty freaky, all that. The top 10.
Exactly. It's beyond anything. It's just like something that's out of this world. It can't be human that all these things have happened.
No, it's not. But then again, you know, with Area 51, maybe that's where they come from. It's all linked up. And here's the next one.
The real Men in Black and the great cover, UFO cover. In a new documentary, U.S. government agents claim they spent decades giving fake evidence of extraterrestrials to gullible ufologists. But why? And how can we trust them now? And there's the movie right there of Men in Black.
You know, I never even seen this movie because I thought it was too, you know.
I think I've seen
childish.
Hidden among the avalanche of documents leaked by Edward Snowden were images of a PowerPoint presentation by GCHQ entitled Utter Deception, Training for a New Generation of Online Covert Operations. Images include camouflage marks, inflatable tanks, women in burqas, and complete diagrams, pastors, jargon, buzzwords, and slogans. Destructional operational playbook. Swap the real for the false, vice versa. People making decisions as part of groups. And beneath a shot of hands shuffling a deck of cards. We want to build cyber magicians. Curiously silenced in the middle documents are 3 photographs of UFOs. None real, classic fakes. One was a hubcap, another a bunch of balloons, another one that turned out to be a seagull. Without UFO, all of this might see upon the further proof that our government knows something about aliens and their transportation methods, but really it is suggesting the opposite. The UFO community is a technical case of gullible groups susceptible to manipulation, having too much time watching the skies and the X-Files. It's implied they'll readily swallow everything, whatever snippets of evidence suits their grand theory. Is there really a UFO conspiracy? It's surely the worst kept secret in history. Roswell, Area 51, flashing lights, green little green men, abductions. It's all been fed through the pop culture mill to the point of fatigue. Even the supposed enforcers of the secret, the Men in Black, have their own movie franchise. But a new documentary, Mirage Man, unearthed compelling evidence that UFO folklore was actually fabricated by the U.S. government. Rather than covering up the existence of aliens, could it be the real conspiracy has been persuading us to believe in them? Now that's the new twist, isn't it, Mario?
Yeah, that's a whole different angle.
Exactly. And only here on MnR Live TV show can you hear a different angle. Mirage Men is land an actual Man in Black, a former Air Force space investigator. Officials Richard Doherty admits to having infiltrated UFO circle. I'm not with the government. You cooperate with us, and I'm going to tell you what the government really knows about UFOs deep down in the vaults. Doherty told. And let's go down. And what it says is, and if the Soviets really thought the U.S. really was communicating with aliens, all the better. The classic case, well known to conspiracy aficionados, is Paul Benowitz started his amateur equipment. The fact he lived just across the woods of Kirkland Air Force Base could be to have set alarm bells. But Benowitz was convinced these phenomena were of extraterrestrial origin. Being a good patriot, he contacted the Air Force to realize that far from eavesdropping on UETs, Benowitz was inadvertently eavesdropping on them. That encouraged Benowitz to dig deeper. Within a few years, he was interpreting alien language, spotting alien crash in the hills from his plane. He was an amateur pilot. They gave Benowitz computer software that interpreted the signals and even dumped fake props to him to discover. The mania took over Benowitz's life. In 1988, his family checked him into a psychiatric facility. So I'm thinking that there's got to be some fake information that the U.S. government is obviously leaking.
Well, the U.S. government does know something. Yeah, for sure he's leaking stuff because he wants to get us ready for the great deception that's coming, and these Men in Black, well, they're normal for them.
But my take on it, they do give false information, not just real information. False. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know, and it said they test pilots for the military's. What they do is they have flashing lights crafts to fool civilians, like to make them think they're UFOs, but they're not. There's like a lot of stuff going on. But I think it's a pretty interesting article, and people, if they want to know more, they should look into it, like classified documents such as Majestic 12, spilled on UFO documents. And also, the 12 American military personnel paid a secret visit to an alien planet in the Zeti reticuli system, only to be caught at the source of presumed hoax. I knew it was a hoax.
Everything's a hoax, man.
Exactly, for sure. Going on another planet.
Well, that's what they want us to think, that it's a hoax.
But it's not a planet. Not at all. Close Encounter, right there, the movie.
That movie spooked me up when I was younger.
Yeah, me too. The place of movies, the UFO conspiracy is a tricky area, depending on which theory you subscribe to. Hollywood's steady stream of sci-fi is either deliberate exaggeration designed to make the truth look unbelievable, you have been watching too many movie defense, or it's a way of psychologically preparing the populace for staggering alien secrets yet to be revealed. I think it's a bit of both. My personal take on this.
Yeah, but they like to mix, you know?
Well, that's what the great deceiver likes to do. Satan mix truths with lies, and that's what they're doing right here. Because after all, what are UFOs? What are they? The great deception. Steven Spielberg is less likely government stooge, though he has been obsessed by aliens his entire career, from Close Encounters and E.T. up to War of the Worlds and the last Indiana Jones films, not forgetting his produced role in Falling Skies, Transformers, and Men in Black. If anyone's paving the way for the big reveal, it's Spielberg. After 30 years of paving, we're still waiting. Exactly. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on in the next couple of months, years, decade, with all of this. But I think, yeah, so I think that's it for this article. It's pretty long, and we don't want to bore our viewers.
It's halfway there, Rob. It's halfway there. But like you say, we don't want people falling asleep on our show. There's other shows that mainstream shows make people fall asleep. This article looks like the one we just had on before, no?
Yeah, but Snowden Files, they're real. What's happening? They're real Men in Black, Hollywood, and the Great UFO False Flag. It looks pretty similar, but there's different articles to it. Same picture right there, Men in Black. I mean, that's probably the main picture right there. In a new document, U.S. government agencies claim they spent decades giving fake evidence of ETs to gullible ufologists. But why? Hidden among the avalanche of documents leaked by Edward Snowden were images. Oh yeah, it is the same one. Is it? No, well, it starts off, but yeah, is it the same one? I think the first part is. Oh well.
Mirage Man.
Because when I saw the article,
I see Dowdy again.
Yeah, the Soviets communicating all is better. The classic. Yeah, it isn't. Oh my gosh, I guess I got confused with both articles.
Maybe you like it so much that.
Well, look, it's a psychiatric. You know, it's a psychiatric facility. Nuclear fracking, yeah. So I think it's the same article. It must be the same article, but different source.
Yeah, that's what they do. A lot of people just copy paste articles from one to the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we might as well go down the article, see if it's the same one. CIA, the earth stood still.
Very good. There we go. Steven Spielberg again.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess basically the same thing. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, the same thing. Decipher hidden messages about UFOs. Oh, right there.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah, the same article.
Wait a second. Just wait a second. Let me just. Real Men in Black. What was that? How did it end?
The real Men in Black.
Anyways, I guess it's not that relevant, right? It's irrelevant. We'll go to the next one, right?
Yeah.
Because they look so much alike. But anyways, it's okay. It's good to show people that, you know what, we're not daydreaming. Even this one looks familiar, but I think the other one's this
Area
one.
51.
Yeah.
The Men in Black, right there, exactly. Aliens, everything you want to know. Well, we're not going to go through all of this, obviously, but it's just a good link for who are these guys. What black means. Black means a covert, undercover, not seen. Some people think that MIBs are aliens. Complicating matters is the fact that many times it appears that Men in Black are humanoid-type aliens masquerading humans. Many people in the military are aware of this, maybe in some cases, some instances. And then we see a gray right there. Maybe they're gray shape-shifting. Look, they could shape-shift.
These greys are great deceivers.
Exactly. And there's a good article here about what he saw, what this doctor over here saw. The black suit, they vanished into thin air when the scare started. When people started acknowledging the Men in Black.
Well, it's like me with the Hat Man, you know? I got that experience. That will stick with me forever. I'm sure whoever gets to see the Hat Man, that will stick for them forever. Stick to them forever.
I mean, with the shadow creatures.
Sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis.
Yeah, exactly.
Paralyzed. How do you say it?
Sleep paralysis.
Okay, thank you.
A teenager is threatened by MIBs and has photos of flying saucers seized from him. MIBs make a coin disappear from UFO and tell him your heart will do the same if you talk. Even the military doesn't know who MIBs are. In 1967, the United States Air Force expressed concern about finding out more about these guys in black and who were going around scaring people and saying they were from U.S. Armed Services. And it's from Project Blue Book.
Okay, here it says even the military. How many times, half the times, the military doesn't know what's going on? So you think they want to know about the Men in Black? Come on.
Especially back then, the age before the internet. Don't forget now, these things are more out in the open. Before that, we'd be huddled, you know, and like a conspiracy room talking about these things hidden from everyone. Now we're doing a worldwide transmission where this was being seen worldwide, talking about Men in Black.
And
Even
also,
like,
also before there was only one thing that we could have turned to that would have talked about Men in Black, and that's unsolved mysteries. But now we don't have to go there.
Exactly. We'd all be like, you know, now we'd all be just in a computer kind of like just sending each other messages like a computer club talking about Men in Black. But now it's out in the open more and more. So what do they have to do? They have to make movies out of it.
Silly movies like cartoon like.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just going down, Rob. But I don't know if you want.
You know, it was surprising when they do a movie on the Black-Eyed Kids in Hollywood. That's probably the next thing they're gonna do. No, that's it. That just talks about people that have met MIBs and what's happened to them. I don't want to go through it. You know, people can see our links to the shows if they want to read the stories and that. You know.
And this is what's happening on Chatango. Before I turn to myself, you know, I like to show what the hell is going on because people enjoy going on it. And this is on our blog, so you could, yes, Phil Schneider, he was something else. He was.
Yeah, I know, eh? Exactly.
So everybody, you know, if you want to read this, you can go on our blog and see. You know, it's there as an archive.
Exactly, oh, for sure.
So here I am, like as I promised at the end of the show, because the show is coming to an end. Is there anything else, Rob?
Well, no, not that I know of. I mean, we've done Area 51. We've covered MIBs, Men in Black. But there's so much information. We could do shows for hours and hours just on it. But that would be too much. You know, that's for people that want to go deeper into it. But we just want to expose what the heck's going on. The world of UFOs. Area 51, Roswell, Men in Black, and so on and so forth. But there's a lot of mysteries going on that it's only beginning to be answered. Will we ever get the answers? We don't know, but we tried to here at MnRTV Live Show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we said what we know about these Men in Black, trying to discover them, right?
Exactly, and we'll be back next week, hopefully, if I don't freeze tomorrow and end up in an ice cube.
No, you won't, Rob. You will be back to do a show with me.
Yes. So until next week, God bless you all, and thanks for watching, and the show will be up very soon on YouTube for everybody to see. That's Mr. Show. Thank you very much, and see you next week. Goodbye.
All right. Have a good night. Thanks for watching, because without you, we'd be nothing. We'd be watching.
Like we usually do.
All right. So have a good night. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.